going on, everyone? Hopefully, everyone is having a wonderful day and a great start to a wonderful evening. If you don't know who I am, then why are you here? No, I'm just playing. Uh, my name is Richard, of course. I'm the person behind the Monkey or House of Jazz. And tonight we are on episode 11 of a somewhat new live stream that I've been doing midweek called Any Questions. Okay, so we've been doing this, or I've been doing this. Yeah, so well, I guess about two and a half months now. And this is a chance for all of you out there. If you have any questions about piano and music theory that you've always wanted answered, and this is a chance for you to be able to get answers to those questions live. You're able to ask me the question. You can type your questions over in the chat box over there, or you can actually come on this stream with me right now. Like, matter of fact, I forgot to let me put the link in there now. Hold on. I'm going to post a link in the chat. And if you would like to actually come on with me right now, you literally can come on. There go the link right there. And you don't even have to have your camera on. You just have to have your microphone on. And yeah, you can actually come on and ask me your question right here live. And y'all can be like, oh, wow, he really is a real person. So tonight, before I start answering your questions, I did have a theme for tonight, and I've actually had a series for the last 5 or 6 episodes, which is based on building chords from a major scale. Okay, so tonight we're going to look at some 13th chords. Not every type of 13th chord in the world, just the basic ones, like the basic, like 3 that you'll probably use more so than not. Okay, so we want to take a look at that, and we also want to have a review of all my other lessons, because after tonight I don't think I'm going to go through this, because every single episode I keep going through how to build the scale and all that stuff, and I'm like, okay, some of y'all are like, okay, man, we got it the first 50 times you told us, so this is going to be the last time. So this is going to be a general review too. So if you have your questions, feel free to type them over in the chat box. But I would say you might want to hold off until I'm finished with my lesson first. Okay? Because sometimes with the chat box, it gets there be so many questions, it's hard to find your questions. But again, if you would like to ask your question live on the stream with me right now, there's the link to join me live. Okay. All right. I think I said enough. Let me see. My favorite most stuff is building a dominant 13th chord with the 13th on the bass. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. We already in here talking some theory. Good evening from the UK. What's going on, Martin Higgs? And what's going on, Arturo? We got Rocky in the building. Baltimore's on. Just saying hi. What's going on, Rock? All right. Well, okay. I guess, we got some people in the room. So we're going to go ahead on and start the lesson. So if you've seen any of my previous episodes, you should know that I like to start with a review. So let's review. One of the main things with this, the technique that I like to use when I'm teaching people how to build chords, is to first be able to build a major scale. Okay, so I'm gonna give you my secret formula right now. I've been giving out this formula for the last month. Okay, this is literally how I learned back as a teenager, and I'm 40 plus now. I'm like literally in my mid 40s now. But back as a teenager, this is how I personally learned how to build a major scale. So if you're the type of person that's like, if you don't have a cheat sheet in front of you, you can't make the scale. And, if you don't have a cheat sheet in front of you, I'm going to show you how to build the scale from any note on the piano. Okay. So on your screen right now, you see that I posted whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Again, if you've been watching my last couple of weeks of these live streams, you've seen this already. And this will probably be the last time I review this, okay? But we're going to go through it quickly. This is short for whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Why am I like digging this into your brains? Why am I going over how to build a major scale? Because literally, you don't even have to know how to play your minor scales yet, just to be able to build pretty much any chord. Just knowing the major scale. I'm not saying don't learn your minor scales. I'm just simply saying just knowing how to build the major scale literally puts you in the market to be able to build a chord in any key. Like whether it's all your chords, all your A chords, the B chords, the C, D, E, F, and G chords, all of them. So let's take a look at this scale again. Okay, so again, I guess before I teach this, I gotta make sure that just in case I have some newbies here, that you know the difference between half steps and whole steps. So we're gonna do a real quick, easy lesson. Okay, if you look on the screen right now, I'm playing in my higher register because I have that whole half covering half the screen, so you wouldn't be able to see what notes I'm playing. So you should be able to see that I'm playing a D right now. Now, if you want to know, a half step is basically when you go to the very next available note. So you see I have D now, right? So if I move to this note, you see how that's the very next note, E flat? That's it. That's a half step. There you go. When you go from one note and you move to the very next note, it's a semitone, okay? Also known as a half step. Now, if I was to skip this note and I move straight to E, that would be considered a whole step. So if I went from D to E, that's a whole step. Because why? Because I skipped this that first note. So D to E flat, or you could call it D sharp, that's a half step, okay? D to E is a whole step. That's it. That's the lesson. That's your half step and whole step lesson for the evening. And that works even if you're not going from a black note to a white note or a white note to a black note. It does not matter. As long as you're moving from one note to the very next note, boom, that's just the rule. So let's take a look at C. I'm sorry. Take a look at C. Now, yes, if I move up to C sharp, or you can call it D flat, that's a half step. But if I'm on C and I move to B, some people will be like, well, white keys can't be called flat. Yes, they can. This is also known as C flat, okay? And it's also a half, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about half steps. So from C to B, that's a half step as well. As you can see, there's no black note between it, but it doesn't matter, okay? All right, that's it with that lesson. So now you know the difference between whole steps and half steps. So now let's learn how to build the scale. Look on the screen, write this down if you need to. What you do is, we're going to start easy because everybody knows the C major scale already. And then I'll show you how to do this in some other keys as well. So you press down the scale you want to do. So we want to do a C scale. So press down C first. Now move a whole step. Move another whole step. Move a half step. Move a whole step. Whole step. Whole step. And then half step. Voila, that's the major scale. Then you can go back and go, oh. Now, again, most of you already know your C major scale. You don't even have to think whole, half, whole, half. But what about those scales that you don't know that well? Let's take a look at B major for a second. Let's see how B works. Just so that my screen shows the correct names of the notes, I'm going to put up a B major key signature. Okay, so it works. So if you're in the key of B and you want to play a B major scale, all right, again, you start with B. Press the note down. Okay, so B is your first note. Move a whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, then half step. There you go. And then you can go back and go, voila. You can do that again. You can do that with any note. You can randomly put your finger on any note. I'll do one more. Let's do F sharp. I'll do it. I'll do the flat version. So let's do G flat. Okay. So we'll put the G flat key signature on there. Okay. So you got G flat. Do the exact same thing. You play the G flat first, and then you move a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. That's your G flat scale. Is also your F sharp scale too. Hint, hint. But anyway. Okay. So we're done. Now let's get to building the chords. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I reviewed that. We'll go back into C because I will be in C for a minute now. So once you've built your scale and you know your scale, each note in your scale has a number. So the first note, like if you're doing a C scale, then C will be considered 1, right? And let me do this. Let me just take this off the screen so I can come down now. Okay, I'm coming down here. So now you can see it better. Okay. Now, so if I'm going to do C, the C scale, C will be considered 1. D is 2. E is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you're back at 1 again, right? Okay. And when you're doing extended chords, instead of considering the octave of 1, mentally think of it as 8. And then that means the next note will become 9. Mentally think of this as 10, even though we'll never call a chord a 10th chord, but just keep that in mind. So this will become the 11. Mentally think of this as 12, although we will never call a chord some type of 12th chord, but just keep it, just think about it just for a second. And then that becomes 13, okay? So that's when you're dealing with extended chords. When you're dealing with extended chords, the way you count is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Got you? And then after that, there's no such thing as a 14. But if you want to think of it as a 14, okay, just keep it mental. Don't say it out loud, okay? And then you're back at 1 again, all right? Cool. Why is that so important to know? Because now I'm going to give you some formulas on how to build every type of chord, okay, from that major scale. Okay. When you play the 1, the 3rd, or shall I say the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th note of the scale together, you'll get a major chord no matter which scale you're playing, no matter what key you're in. You saw me do it in the key of B major. You saw me do a scale in G flat. Doesn't matter. If you play the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th note of the scale, you will get a major chord every single time, no matter what key you're in. Earlier, you saw me do a B major scale, right? So if I take the 1st note, the 3rd note, and the 5th note, you play it together, you got a B major chord. Earlier, you saw me do the G flat scale. I'm not going to change the key signature because I'm just doing this just for a couple seconds. But, right? So if I take the 1st note of that scale, the 3rd note, 5th note, you got the major chord. That works for every single key. That's why I said, learn your major scales. If you learn the major scales, you're good when it comes to chords, when it comes to building chords. Now, so that's your major chord, the 1, 3, and 5 of the scale. And if you want to take a major chord and turn it into a minor chord, the one simple thing is only one thing you have to do to change it into a minor chord. You take that 3rd note of the scale and you drop it down a half step. There you go. Boom. 1, minor 3rd, 5th. Got it? Okay. Then if you want to make this a diminished chord, you take the 5th note, which is the G, drop that down a half step as well. Now you have a diminished chord. So that quick, you got a major chord, minor, diminished, okay? Let's return back to the C major chord for a second. If you want to make an augmented chord, all you have to do is take the fifth note of the scale. In this case, it's the G, because in the key of C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G is the fifth. Raise it up a half step. C augmented, right? Again, if you've been on my live stream for the last couple of weeks, you already know all this stuff. You've seen this. This is just for those that might be stumbling on this stream for the first time, okay? So C major, augmented by just taking that fifth and taking it up a half step, okay? Now, for your sus chords, if you want to do a sus4 chord, what you're going to do is you can start with your major chord, and then you take that third note and you raise it up a half step. That's all you got to do. That's it. And then now you, instead of having a C major chord, you have a C suspended, or we just say sus for short, C sus4. If you want to do a sus2 chord, then you will play the first note of the scale, the second note of the major scale, and the fifth note. There you go, sus2. So right? Okay. I think we took care of all that. Now we want to start building. Those are the simple chords. So we're going to look at the more extended chords. So, okay. So you got your major chord, but I know a lot of y'all be hearing people say, hey, what about that major 7 chord? Okay, well, if you want to turn this major chord into a major 7, it's really hard. Pay attention. This is going to be something very difficult for you to understand. I know it might take you a year to understand this technique, but just pay attention. Stay with me. Now, I know this is hard, but if you want to turn a major chord into a major 7 chord, please write this down, take a picture, remember it. You know what I'm saying? You want to play that 1, 3, and 5th note of the scale, and you also want to add the 7th note of the scale. I know that's hard. Oh my goodness, I know that is so hard. Like, what? I got to remember all that? Yes. I know that's difficult. It's going to take you a long time to remember that, but that's how you make a major 7 chord. Again, once you figured out how to play the major scale, you just play the 1st, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th note of the scale. For those of you wondering, I was just joking. Obviously, it's not that hard to do. Okay. All right. So there you go. So now you have a major 7 chord. Now, if sometimes you'll see chords, if you're looking at chord sheets, or if you're looking at sheet music that has the guitar chords written on top of it, sometimes you'll see something that says C7. You don't see major. You don't see MAJ 7. You just see C and the number 7. That's called dominant chord. And to turn a major 7 chord into a dominant chord, all you have to do is just take that 7th note, that major 7, drop it down a half step. That's it. So there is a difference for those of you that's wondering, is there a difference from, well, when they say C7, C major 7? Yes, there's a difference. I'm going to let you listen to the difference now. You hear that? There is a difference, okay? Major 7. Dominant. Okay, so yes, there is a difference. Okay, so now you know that. But sometimes when you get reading sheet music and all that stuff, or chord sheets, you might see something that says C minor 7. So if you need to play a C minor 7, then that means you need to go ahead on and play that C minor chord by dropping the 3rd note of the scale. Again, drop that down along with that dominant 7. Now you have a C minor 7. So major 7, dominant 7, minor 7. Did you get that? Check it out again. Major 7, dominant 7, minor 7. But we're going to do some more things to these chords. We're going to take and do what is called a half diminished chord, commonly referred to as minor 7 flat 5. And we're going to do that by doing this. So what we did was that this is called a C minor 7 flat 5, also known as a half diminished chord. All I did was, okay, so I started with the C minor 7 chord, right? And then a flat 5 means exactly that. Which note is the 5th note of the C scale? This G. So flat it. How do we flat notes? By taking it down a half step. That's it. That's it. Minor 7, minor 7, flat 5. That's all that means. That's all that means. that's half diminished. If you want to fully diminish the chord, then you take this seventh, right now you're playing a dominant 7 right now, and you're going to drop it down another half step. That's it. Drop it down another half step, and now you have C diminished 7. I know it's a lot. It's a lot. But if you kind of just review these videos and just, like I said, I've gone over this like for the last month and a half. I've been reviewing this for the last month and a half, and just review it. It'll start making sense to you. This is literally how I learned my chords. This is how I learned, okay? Now, to go to extended chords, remember I taught you how to count your scales when you're interested in playing extended chords. Like when we say extended chords, we're talking about your 9th chords, your 11th chords, and then the chord that we're going to focus on today, 13th chords. It is important, once again, that you count your scales like this: 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. That's the C major scale, but I just played just the numbers of the scale. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Okay. So if you want to play a C major 9 chord, well, you can start with the C major 7, right? And then all you have to do, now once again, y'all, this is going to be hard. This is going to be hard. That link that I posted in the chat is for anyone that wants to actually join me on this live stream because you want to ask some questions. You can feel free. And once I finish this lesson, I'll answer your question, okay? Okay, so to turn this into a major 9, I need y'all to look real carefully because this is going to be difficult and hard to understand. You're going to play the 1, the first note of the scale, the 3rd note of the scale, the 5th note of the scale, the 7th note of the scale. Now here's the hard part. Play the 9th note of the scale. Oh my goodness, I know that's like so hard. Like, oh my goodness, how would you ever remember that? Okay, let me stop being silly. Okay, but that's all you have to do for a major 9 chord, okay? So you start with your major chord, you add your 7th, and you add your 9. Now, interesting enough, if you decide not to play the 7th, the major 7, then instead of the chord being considered a major 9 chord, if you remove the 7 and say, I don't want to play the 7th, it's actually called C major add 2. Sometimes this is referred to as add 9. Now, let me explain just in case that confuses you. Why do they call it C add 2 and C add 9? I don't know why some sheet music. I'm telling you, I have plenty of sheet music. Some of my books will say C add 2, and some of them will say C add 9. It's not as hard as you think. If you remember when I was telling you how to count out your scales, and I said, well, initially, when you're not doing extended chords, you would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you go back to 1. Okay, this is when you're not doing extended chords. Notice that when you're not doing extended chords, D is considered to be the 2, right? It's considered to be the 2. 1, 2. Okay, now, if you're counting this out for extended chords purposes, let's see what the D is called then. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Now the D is considered to be the 9th when you're dealing with an extended chord. Okay, it's considered to be a 9th. Okay, so that's the reason why they'll say add the 2nd, add the 9th. Keep in mind that the 2nd and the 9th is the exact same chord. Well, it's the same note. The 9th is the same note. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, 9th. If it says add 2, if it says add 9, in the key of C, it's the letter D. Okay, it doesn't matter, and it works like that with every single key. So, I didn't really emphasize that the last couple of weeks, so I just wanted to make sure I emphasize that. So major 9 is when you include the major 7, okay? But if you don't include the major 7, and you will see plenty of songs that will tell you to play just the add 2 or the add 9. All they're telling you to do is to remove the 7th. That's it. If you remove the 7th, a lot of times when I play C major, add 2 or add 9, I don't even play the D up here. I actually play the D down here. And I usually play it like that. So it's like my 1, and then this is the 2 or the 9, and then you got your E. So I got a C major chord and I play it down here. I don't think I ever really play it in this inversion. I don't know why. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. But yeah. So so there you go. So now you got your major ninth chords. So let's look at what else we can do with your ninth chord. Okay, so you have your major 9. Now, if you are reading some sheet music and it's asking you to play a C9 chord, it's not saying play major 9. It's not saying play a add 9, but it just wants you to play a C9. They're asking you to play a C dominant 9, which means you have to play the C dominant 7 chord first. So well, I won't say first, but you need to make sure that you have that C dominant 7 chord included. So earlier we already found, we already looked at the fact that this is a C dominant 7. So once you have that C dominant 7, just add the 9th note again. That's it. That's all you got to do. You don't have to do nothing to the 9th note. You don't have to raise it a half step. You don't have to lower it. Just add it on top of the C7. So C dominant 7, C dominant 9, aka C7, C9. It's not that hard, right? So now if you want to go from the dominant 9, and let's say they're asking you to play a C minor 7, I'm sorry, C minor 9. I'm sorry. If they're asking you to play a C minor 9, then what you want to do is you just start with that C minor 7. Start with the C minor 7 that you already played earlier. You got the C minor 7. We already looked at that earlier. And then again, just add the 9th. Just add the 9th note of the scale. That's all you have to do. It's that simple. It's not as hard as you might think it is. So now you got that C minor 7, you add the 9. Okay. C minor 9. So we did dominant 9. You can do a sharp 9. If you do, no, you can't. Take that back. Minor 9. So we did major 9, dominant 9, minor 9. Okay. We're going to just keep it at that. Now, last week we looked at the 11th chords. Okay. So with the 11th, all you're doing is basically the same philosophy, except now you're just adding the 11th note of the scale to the table. That's it. So now you got 1. Oh, let me say this, and I said this last week. I did not make this software that I'm using over here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why this software refuses to display a major 11th chord. It doesn't matter which key I'm playing it in. It does not. So please don't look at what the screen is saying. If you think that I'm in error, you can pick up any music theory book in the history of the world, or you can Google it and you will see that what I'm telling you is the truth. This really is a C major 11 chord, even though my software will not call it that. But okay. But this is all you have to do for a major 11 chord. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and yes, just add the 11th note. That's it. There you go. So now you have a C major 11. Again, don't pay attention to what that screen say. I promise you, you can check me. You can Google it. You can buy books that were written 50, 100 years ago. I promise you, this is a C major 11 chord, okay? So all you're doing, and as you can see, it really gets easy. It's that simple. Now, you can do the same thing again. If you need to play a C dominant 11 chord, then all you have to do is just start with a C dominant 7 chord first. Start with your dominant 7. There go your dominant 7, then add your 9, add your 11. There you go. It says add 11, but it's trust me, it's a C11, but at least the software does say add, it did put the 11 in there. But that's a C dominant 11 chord, or add 11. However you want to look at it, it's fine. And then if you need to do a minor 11, once again, start with your minor 7. Okay, we already looked at the C minor 7, right? Then add the 9, add the 11th note of the scale. C minor 11. They put the 11 in brackets right there, but there you go, C minor 11. So major 11, dominant 11, minor 11. And now we're on to what is today's lesson. Today is it. You can't have any chords that goes past 13th. 13th chords are the most extended. You can go with extended chords, okay? 13th. You can't go, there's no such thing in theory as 14th chords, even though technically there's a 14th note, but we don't. In music, they just, whoever created this music theory stuff hundreds and thousands of years ago just decided, forget about 14. 14 doesn't count. But okay, so with the 13th note, you're basically just building more. You're just going to add the 13th. That's it. You're just adding the 13th note of the scale. Again, when we're counting notes in a scale for the purposes of extended chords, this is how you count them. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. You see every note that I just played? Play all of them together and you'll have a major 13 chord. There you go. Now, for some reason, this software does call this a C major 13. I don't know why they won't put C major 11. I should email the guy, because the guy actually that creates this software says that you can, let him know about errors. So maybe I might do that. But anyway, okay, but there you go. C major 13. I'll play it down here so it won't be so high. There you go. C major 13. And that's all I'm doing is just playing every note that's in that extended scale. 1, 3, 5, 7. And then everything else is the same. If you need to play a C13 chord, then start with the C7, the C dominant 7 I'm talking about. Start there. And then again, just add the 9, 11, 13. That's it. All right. Now, on here, they're calling it sus4. That's fine, whatever. This is also a dominant 13, okay? That's all it is. And then if you need, I don't know if I've ever seen anything say minor 13 before, but in sheet music, I don't think I've ever seen it. I've seen minor 11. I don't usually see minor 13. But if you need to do a minor 13, okay, cool. Start with your C minor 7, then add the 9, 11, and 13. And there you go, C minor 13. Okay, so major 13, dominant, and minor. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. You basically can take now there are more chords. I did not go through every type of chords, because you got chords where you got the sharp this. Matter of fact, with the major 11 chords, you got sharp 11. Like let's say you did the C major 11. Well, again, my software is not showing this as C major 11. But if you wanted to do a sharp 11, all you would have to do is to take that 11th note, which is the F, right? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and just raise it up a half step. And there you go. You got sharp 11, okay? So 6 is the same as the 11, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's not. 6 is the same as the 13th. 5, 7, 9. Yeah. So when you just like I said earlier, when I said sometimes a chord will say add 2, and then sometimes it says add 9. But regardless to whether it's saying add 2 or add 9, it's going to be a D if you're in the key of C. And I already explained why that. I already showed that. I don't want to waste time with that. You can kind of look at these. Now, you will, now on sheet music, chord sheets, whatever, you will see stuff sometimes where they give you instructions with 6, with the number 6. So it is kind of cool to keep in mind that 6 and 13th notes are the same letters as well. Okay, what do I mean? Okay, let's count our scale if it's as if we're not doing extended chords. So if you're not doing extended chord, then this is how we count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's stop on 6. What note am I playing on the 6? I'm playing an A. Okay, so when you're not dealing with extended chords, A is considered a 6. Now, let's keep that. Remember that A is 6. Now, let's count this as if we're counting for extended chords. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. There go to A again. And what did I just call it? A 13. Okay, so there you go. So that's what I mean by the A can be considered a 6 and it can be considered a 13. So don't let that confuse you. And like I said, in sheet music, I don't even really know why sometimes they'll call it a 6 and sometimes they call it 13. I don't know the theory behind it, but just keep in mind that they will do that. So some new things that we talked about, that the 2 and the 9 of the scale, it's the same thing. We might as well look at the 4, because 4 and 11 is the same thing. So let's take a look at that too, because you will see stuff that in sheet music sometimes that says 4. You'll see some type of chord and it will say 4, add 4 or something, whatever. And then sometimes you'll see 11. Let's take a look at it. Let's count the scale if we're just doing it without the extended chords, right? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop right there. When we said 4, we called it an F. Now let's count the scale if we're counting for extended chords. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Stop right there. There you go. You see, F is also known as the 11. Okay, so there you go. You're never going to have to deal with the 8 and 14. I've never seen it. Now, if it exists in sheet music, then okay, keep that in mind that 8 and 14 is the same thing. But I've never, ever in my 44 and a half years on this earth ever seen anything that said 14th or 8. Now 8 means octave. I mean, they'll tell you that that's the octave, but okay, yeah, and yeah, you'll see octave. I think y'all know what octaves are, right? I think we know what octaves are, but you won't see it actually called the number 8. So remember that your 4s can also be considered 11s. Your 2s can also be considered 9s. Mm-hmm. And your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is considered 13s. So that's definitely important to know. Okay, so if you're seeing some type of chord and on a chord sheet and they're telling you to add the 4, matter of fact, a lot of times you might see them tell you to play a C major 6. Right. And I see this. I definitely see this in chord sheets, and I never talked about this. So might as well talk about it now. In my previous episodes, I never talked about this. But like if you want to play like a C major 6, what you do is you start with the C major chord. Everyone should know their C major chord anyway, right? 1, 3, 5. Then you just add the 6th note of the scale. That's it. Yeah, I never did even talk about that. I'm glad I just thought about that. So there you go. So there you go. So yeah, and you can do that in any key. All you have to do is just add the 6. And as you can see, you can also do minor 6 the same way. You start with the C minor chord, which you should already know how to play, and then just add that 6th note. So I'm glad I thought about that. Okay, so that's some other things that you can think about. And like I said, it's impossible for me to go over every type of chord ever in existence, but trust and believe, if you can at least learn this stuff that I've been teaching for the last month and a half with building chords from scales, you're going to be so well balanced that it's going to be really hard for a chord to be thrown at you. And you're like, oh, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. Jazz ain't talk about that one. And even if it's thrown at you, you can just take a look at the chord and kind of say, well, let me see if I can figure out what this is using the same theory that you learned from me with the major scale. But that's basically it, y'all. That's it for these chords. We looked at, and again, this is the method that I used as a teenager. This is how I learned my chords. Now, here's the thing. Everything I did right now was just in the key of C. That's only one key. The trick is to be able to do this in every key. Okay, every key, not just C. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, I showed you all that stuff in C, but I need you to be able to do that in C sharp, D flat, right? I need you to
Yeah.
do that in the key of D. I need you to do it in the key of E flat. I need you to do it in the key of E. You need to be able to do it in the key of F,
Mm-hmm.
F sharp, or G flat. Doesn't matter. Sometimes music is written in F sharp. Sometimes they write it in G flat. I don't know why they do F sharp. I hate F sharp. I like when I'm sight reading. Can you write it with flats, please? That's it's just my mind. I get it that it's the same notes on the piano. I get it, but my mind is like, dude, write it as G flat. What's wrong with you? But anyway, that's just me. But okay. But then I need you to be able to play it in G. I need you to be able to do that in G sharp or A flat. I need you to be able to do it in the key of A. Then you need to be able to do it in the key of B flat. And then in the key of B. So that's what I'm saying. It's a process. My whole point is learning all this stuff is a process. It is not. And I've seen ads even on my YouTube videos because I know my channel is monetized. So I'm sure that when you click to watch one of my tutorials, sometimes the ad will play. And I've seen these ads play where they say, "Hey, are you sick of people telling you you have to learn all your skills and do all this? Hey, I can teach you how to play any song in 20 minutes." Man,
No.
listen, let me tell you something. Now, no, no, okay? There are some fundamentals you absolutely really need to know and
Yes.
to have tucked inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
Trust and believe. Now, here's, and I'm going to talk about myself for a second in a negative way. In some ways, I'm a bad influence on a lot of y'all. And I'm going to tell you why I'm a bad influence. Because it's like some of y'all don't really know your theory, right? You don't know, you really don't know your theory. I mean, you might know the notes on the piano. If I say play a G flat, you go, oh yeah, I can do that. But beyond that, if I'll say what chord you're playing, you'll be like, I don't know. I'm just playing it. Let me tell you how I'm a bad influence on you. Because let's say there's a song you always wanted to learn how to play, right? I have, I think it's over 1,000 tutorials that I've done. If it's not 1,000, I know I have over 1,000 videos. Now, all of my videos on my channel are not tutorials, so I really don't know how many of them are tutorials, but trust and believe most of them are tutorials, right? So if it's not over 1,000 tutorials, 1,000 songs, it's close, okay? And all you have to do to whoa, hold up. Sorry, I heard an echo for a second. All you have to do is just look at my video and just look at my fingers, and then you're like, oh, right, yes, I'm a piano player. I can play that song. So let me apologize right now for being a bad influence on y'all. If this is part of the reason, I'm supposed to be the piano tutorial man, right? And let me say this as well. It is nothing wrong with just learning how to play some of your favorite songs. Sometimes being able to just play a song that you've always loved, it helps encourage you to want to learn more about the instrument. So at the end of the day, I'm kind of playing around, but it is somewhat of a disservice for the person that seriously wants to understand their instrument. They really want to understand the theory behind it. It's okay for the person that's like, well, hold up. My goal is not to be, this is just something I just want to do for fun. Then wonderful. Go through all my videos. I have lots of songs, hundreds of songs for you to learn, and that's cool. But I guess I'm really talking to the person that's like, I really, really want to understand what I'm doing. Okay, I'm not telling you to not look at a tutorial and learn your favorite song. That's cool. But what I am telling you is to start learning these basic foundations. There are people who are selling courses online, I'm sure, for a lot of money and teaching you the exact same thing I'm literally teaching you for free. So take advantage of this because I'll probably create a course as well soon too. And when I do, I'm gonna take these live streams down and start charging y'all. So you better get it now while it's free. But this is stuff that will really help you build yourself as a musician. Um, People talk about playing with the number system. Okay, you can. Number system is awesome. It is absolutely nothing wrong with learning the number system. But what good is the number system to you if you don't know the chords? The number system is telling you, okay, well, this is the chord you play. Okay, play the 4. Oh, okay, that means you have to play an F major in the key of C. In the key of C, play the 4. Okay, you have to play an F major chord. But what if you don't know what an F major chord is? Then how is the number system going to help you? Okay, so they're telling you, okay, play the 6. Okay, so the 6 in the number system usually is a minor chord. So in the key of C, that means play A minor. What if you don't know what an A minor is? If you don't know what the A minor chord is, then how is the number system going to help you? You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, play the 2. Play the 2. Okay, 2 in the key of C is usually D minor. Oh, how do I play a D minor chord? See what I mean? So even with learning the number system, you still need to learn your chords. And then you have to do it in every key. What if you're in the key of G flat or something? Let's say E flat because it's only 3 flats. So you're in the key of E flat and they say play the 3. Okay, so you can quickly look at your fingers and go 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's a G chord. Okay, so G major. Okay, but what if you don't know how to play a G major? Okay, so you need to know that that's a G major chord. Okay. What if they say, go to the 5? They say, go to the 5. Okay, you can look at your fingers kind of quick and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's B flat. Hold up, wait a minute. How do I play a B flat major chord? Oh man, is that how you play? Man, again, hopefully you're getting my point. Hopefully you're understanding why I'm saying it is important to learn your chords. I think it's a great thing to learn how to read sheet music too. It's 100% a great to be able to read sheet music too. And I do encourage you to be able to do that. And I can read sheet music. I'm not a classically trained pianist where if you put Handel's Messiah in front of me, then I can just sit there and play. No, I'm not that good. But I can read like out of a hymn book and I can read out of my Stevie Wonder book, my Boys to Men, yeah, that stuff I can read that stuff. But don't put no some Bach in front of me and say, okay, hey, play Symphony Number 9. I'll be looking at you like, have a good day. But I'm just saying, but it is good to be able to do some reading too. So hopefully, this little series encourage you to want to really learn how to, build your chords. Now, what I also want to do, and I'm not going to do it today because I want to start, listening to your questions. And I've had some people that joined me on the panel, so I do want to bring them up in a minute. But what I might want to do is with every single time I go live, go live on a Wednesday, just to briefly go over a different key. Like, so it's like not doing a lesson, not doing, because I'm done with the lessons because I've given y'all like 5 or 6 lessons, basically the same lesson over and over again. But just coming on, so maybe at the beginning of a stream, I might say, hey, y'all, let's take a look at F sharp today. We're just going to look at the F sharp scale and just build the chords real quick. It'll be like 3 to 5 minutes, just to help, maybe that might help. As a matter of fact, I'll even tell you the week before which key we'll do the next week. Like, matter of fact, since I said F sharp, next Wednesday when I come on, I will just run through the F sharp. We will run through a F sharp scale and we'll play all the chords all the way up to the 13th chords. It won't be a lesson. It will be just me running through it, just to, and hopefully that might help too. But next week's lesson, once I do that, we'll be focusing on inversions, okay? Inversions are important too because sometimes playing chords, you do not, and let me repeat, you do not want to always play every single chord the exact same way on every single song all the time. There are just times where you'll play the right chord and it just won't even sound right because of you keep playing the D major chord like this. No matter what song you're playing, you always play it like this. But sometimes it's good to play it like this. Sometimes it's good to play it like this. Now, if you looked on the screen, all three of those chords were called D major. But if you look at what my fingers was doing, it was different things. So we're going to start looking into inversions next week. Now, I went over those a few weeks ago. I've touched on it, but I haven't had a full lesson. So we'll go real deep, real thick into it next week and really look at some inversions, and we'll pick some keys. Since we're doing F sharp next week, we'll definitely look at some inversions in that F sharp key, and and show you that it's really not that hard. Again, I've talked about inversions, but I haven't had a focus on inversions in the lesson, so we'll do that next week. So now, if you have any questions, you can start posting them over there in the chat box, or if you would like to join me on this panel live, just like how you see these two strangers, both of them wearing these crazy hats and everything, just like them. You see they on here, where you can be on here as well just by clicking that link. And if you would like to just hang out for a minute, or you might just want to come in and just say, hey man, you suck. Nah, don't do that, please. Nah. If you want to tell me I suck, just type it in the comments and then leave. Thank you. Don't come on the panel and say that, because I don't want D to have to handle you. And y'all, some of y'all don't know what I mean by handle, but trust me, you don't want to know what that means, because she will, like, she will handle you, okay? But if you have, I'm gonna scroll up and make sure that there was no questions. There are probably a couple of questions over there. But if you have your questions, start typing them now. And let's just say what's up to Mitch and Mellow D. What's going on, my peoples?
Oh, nothing much. I'm doing all right.
What about you, Mellow Mellow D?
Is your mic on?
Yeah, your mic is not on. Probably you unmuted, but maybe it's not on your mixer.
Nothing
There you
much.
go. Okay.
Is this thing on?
No. All right, let me scroll up and see if there's any questions. Again, feel free to either come on here or type them over. Let me see what some now. It's hard for me to see some of this stuff, so if you see your question popping up on the screen, it's only so that I can read it better. So
Okay.
I have extended chords is after you play the seventh, and then it repeats after that. Okay, right, correct. Okay, cool. All right, which is the sixth? Okay, I actually talked about that. Okay, this was how would you? Okay, here go a question. How would you implement these extended chords in songs? Soul, R&B, for
example. Yeah.
I mean, how would you do? I mean, do it. Like, I mean, a lot of us. All right, let me say this. If I have sheet music for a song that I'm doing a tutorial for, hold on. Okay, yeah. If I have sheet music for a song I'm doing a tutorial for, and let's say it tells me to play a C minor 7. Let's just say, the chords are written on the sheet music, what to play. And I'm like, okay, it says play C minor 7. And then I'll be like, let me see what a C minor 9 sounds like. And I'll be like, oh man, that sounds even better. Then when I'm teaching you the song on the video, I'm going to say, you know what? Make it a minor 9. I'm not even going to tell you that the sheet music. Well, sometimes I might say it, sometimes I mention it, but usually I'll say, okay, your next chord is a C minor 9, even though the sheet music says it's a C minor 7. And then okay, so D, what are you doing? I know it's you. I'm gonna mute your mic right now. I'm gonna mute you. I started echoing in my ear. But a lot of times, oh my goodness, I next to almost never play a minor chord as just a minor chord. I don't care what the sheet music say. I always will make it a minor 7 or a minor 9. There are very few times. And what's funny is that I recorded a tutorial today where that is the case, where it's like, okay, nah, I cannot do the minor 7. I have to keep it minor. You'll see that tutorial tomorrow, because I have to edit it down or whatever. But it's very rare. If I'm looking at sheet music and it says C minor, I'm gonna play that sucker as a C minor 7 every time. And of course, I'm gonna use my ear and say, now if it just doesn't fit, okay, well, I'm gonna play it as a C minor 9. So that's one way how I implement those extended chords. And yeah, sometimes I will throw 11 in there. I will throw a 13th in there too. So I mean, you just use it, try it, just throw it in there and see what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a real rule about it. Just try it. You're the musician. You're learning the song. You're playing the song, and if you're just playing something, and you like, well, let me see what it sounds like if I throw this 11 in there, then do it. And if it sounds bad, don't do it. And if it sounds good, do it. Isn't that what James Brown was asking on that movie, Get On Up movie? And he was like, give it to me on a 1, basically telling the drummer. And Maceo was like, Mr. Brown, we practiced the song exactly the way you want it. And yeah, it's going to mess up with something he was saying. And he was like, fellas, does it feel good? Does it sound good? And they was like, yeah. Does it feel good? They was like, yeah. Well, if it sounds good and it feel good, then it's musical. So do what I say. And I'm going to say, take that. I'm going to give you that same philosophy. Do what James Brown said. Try it. Throw the 9, throw the 11, throw the 13 in there. Does it sound good? Yeah. Does it feel good? Yeah. Okay. Well, if it sounds good and it feel good, then use it. Okay. It's real simple. It's cool. It's cool. All right. Let me see. But you won't cause 7 to notes to cool. Okay. They must be talking about something else. Okay. It's so helpful to learn skills when you start songwriting. You have to know them. And even covering songs, it can allow you to jam in the key and add your own flavor. Absolutely. Was there something you wanted to add to any of this, Mitch? I think I heard you trying to say something. I know my headphones has my voice blasting in my ear, but I think I heard your voice trying to say something.
No.
Oh, okay. All right, well then be quiet. Okay, dang, this sounds so depressing. So much stuff to.
Can you not hear me now? Can you hear me?
Well, I can hear you.
Probably.
It's if you
You're
could turn
echoing?
yourself up louder, but whatever you did the last time, I started echoing loud and clear in my ear. Like if I said
actually
hello,
did
it
turn
sounded
the
like the
other
Three Stooges
volume
going
up.
hello, hello, hello. I was like, wait a minute. It's
You look like the Three Stooges. Larry Carrier.
I know. Mm-hmm.
Is it still echoing though? I mean,
No, no,
okay,
it's not
cool.
echoing. Okay, I'm just going through your comments, to, and
Okay.
not Jay part 2. I remember you from last week. You're the kid from middle school. It's not depressing, man. Plus, you're young, man. Your mind, you number one, you already can play. You probably can play better than me, to be honest with you. But you're young, man. You can. It's not hard for you to do this. You're clearly smart enough. We already heard you play last week. You can handle it, man. Don't be discouraged. Some people are incredible sight readers. Check out Tom Breyer sight reading. Okay. All right. May we talk about drop 2 next week as well? I'm not all that familiar with that technique, but I don't mind looking into it and seeing exactly. I've seen a lot of videos out there that says drop 2, and I'm like, I don't know about that, but maybe it's something I should learn. So if I get the chance to actually see what the technique is, I don't mind sharing my information with y'all because I'm always learning myself. Adam Blonde, do you guys have a favorite chord? My favorite chord personally has to be the F minor 7, minor 9. It's something about that F minor chord for me personally. That's just for me. What about y'all? Do y'all have a favorite chord?
My favorite chord is an A flat major 9.
Boo! Nah, I'm just playing. I love A flat major nine. I do. Okay, cool. D, do you have a favorite chord? That's a nice question. I like that.
Yes, I do. My favorite chord is E flat.
Okay. Okay.
E
All
flat
right.
and E flat minor. I love it.
Okay. Well, we have someone that's on that just joined us, and it says crisp, fresh,
Crispy
sus,
fresh.
ing, king, I guess, or bling. Would you like to introduce yourself? Is that like a picture of Mary J. Blige or something?
Yeah.
I see you're muted right now. Would you like to tell us who you are? Because I have no idea who you are.
Oh, crispy fresh 3 cheeses. Something dressing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you might want to unmute yourself and talk to us. You know, we don't know who you are. We won't have to drop you out if you don't talk to us in a second. Just
Don't
unmute.
don't
I can unmute your mic for you. I guess I cannot. Well, it depends.
don't be
Nah,
shy.
you
Nah,
have to
don't kick me
unmute it.
out.
Oh, who is it?
Don't kick me out.
Oh, okay. It sounds like it's Jewel. I should have known it was
Jewel.
her. I should have known. I really should have
I
known.
was
I
gonna say,
should.
I look at
Woo!
like Jewel.
I was wondering. I said it's probably her. Okay, we know Jewel. We love Jewel. I've
Well,
adopted her as my little sister, so
Oh,
it's all good. She family. All
crispy
right, so I'm
chicken,
not gonna kick her out. Do you say okay?
crispy dressing.
Do you know any rules, helpful hints to writing disco, Chris? You know what? I'm not a
Oh,
disco player.
he meant chord progression because he did it. He said it underneath that message. He meant chord, not Chris.
Okay, well, still, but I'm not disco. I'm not. It's like I just did my first disco track when we had disco night a few weeks ago, and I
Yeah,
did "Get Down on It." That was
yeah,
like the first time I think I've ever played a disco song in my life.
yeah.
So don't. If y'all have anything that y'all can add, feel free. But yeah, I am definitely. I'm more of an expert when it comes to like maybe R&B and soul stuff. But disco, I was scared to do that track. But most people said they like it and telling me that I should upload it. So I think I'm gonna upload that track. I've just recreated the song. So, but that's the extent of my yeah, yeah, you know, I don't like that. Okay, let me see. Jay said, oh, not Jay part two. IG, what's it? Oh, what's a song example that uses these types of extended chords? Like good places to use minor 11 rather than minor 9 in songs, or sharp 11 rather than
A
a
6
6
9.
9 in a song. A lot of your neo soul stuff. A lot of your neo soul songs, they use 11s and 13s all the time. They use
Definitely.
6 9 chords as well. And people when they say a 6 9 chord, all they're doing is telling you to play the sixth note of the scale and the ninth note of the scale as well. So since I didn't talk about that before, I can give an example of what a 6 9 chord is. Hold on, let me bring
Mm.
up the piano again. Oh, not that one, but this one. But and let me take the thing off so y'all can see the piano. Take the question off. Okay. So okay, now if you look at what I'm playing right now, this is called a C6 9 chord. Take a look at what I did, and you can add the fifth too. But you don't even for it to be a 6 9 chord, you don't have to add the fifth. But here in the key of C, I'm playing the 1, the 3, and I'm playing the sixth note. And then I'm also playing the ninth note of the scale. And that's
Mm-hmm.
considered a 6 9 for those, since that chord was just thrown and I never really talked about it. So there you go. So a 6 9 chord means just playing the sixth and the ninth. And you can play the fifth note too. The fifth note doesn't change it. You can play 1, 3, 5, add the sixth, add the ninth. Okay. Just thought I'd go over that since, someone threw that out there. Like, might as well talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I unfortunately I don't memorize how to play a lot of songs. Again, I've learned close to 1,000 songs just on this channel for this channel alone. And then who knows how many songs I've learned just over the years because I had to play them or whatever. I don't memorize how to play songs. That's why I make chord sheets. Like if I need to play a song again, I pull up my chord sheet and that tells me what I need to play. So offhand, I can't give you names of songs per se, but I will say that when you're hearing like a lot of soul music, that neo soul sound, a lot of church music, they're throwing in the 11s and the 13s and the sharp 11s. They're throwing all that stuff in there. So I can definitely say for sure that's a good place where you would throw that in. Alethea, what's going on, girl? I ain't even see you up in her. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Alethea B in the place to be.
Yeah. I can join and show you how drop 2 works real quick. Okay, well, why in the world did you ask me to talk about drop 2 if you already know how to do it? What are you doing in here, Mr. J? Huh?
Oh,
Jesus. Okay, he said Jesus is his
suspended
favorite chord.
His favorite chord.
Okay.
G suspended. Okay.
Amen. Oh, he said amen. I guess he was in church. Okay. Then it says over here, hey, how do I make a song sound more gospel and soulful on keys if I'm covering a guitar-based song? The song I'm referring to is Forever You and Me by the
Teskey Brothers?
Teskey Brothers. Okay. I've never heard of them, and I'm definitely not familiar with the song. But I'm assuming, is the song already a gospel song, or is it just a song that you just want it to sound like it's gospel? I guess that really doesn't matter when it comes to the answer. How do you make? Okay, so it's a guitar-based song, but you want it to sound so. You know what? Try throwing in 9, 11s, and 13s. You know what I'm saying? Because like and see, a lot of times, let me see something. I'm sitting here trying to sip on this tea because I've been doing a lot of talking all day. I've been recording videos before this, so I'm like, ugh. Well, let me put my nice fresh cup of tea down. Man, that was tasting good. I was like, man, but I'm working. I gotta do some more work here. All right, so let's see. Let's take a song.
Was that throat coat?
Let's say we'll keep it simple. We'll just do like, so we got 1, 4, 6, 2, 5, 1. So what did I say? Let me see. 1, 4, 6, 2, 5, 1. Okay. All right. Cool. I'm gonna forget that, but this roll with me anyway. Okay. All right. So let's say you play all those chords the basic way. So we go. Right? Obviously, that's not the church sound that you're looking for or the soulful sound you're looking for. This is where inversions and then adding your 7, 9s, and 11s can sweeten that up, okay? So first of all, instead of playing a C major chord like this, or just playing a regular C major chord, try a C major 9. You know what I'm saying? You hear the difference already? So check it out. So C major chord, major 9. So we're going to change that to a C major 9, okay? So hopefully this is going to sound good. This is off the top of my head. I've never did this before, so hopefully it's going to sound good. So okay. So we fixed the first chord. So then we went to a 4, right, which is F major. Okay, I hate that inversion sucks. So we can either switch the inversion by taking the C up here and playing it down here. And we can even go one step further, and you see this A? Play it here. Okay, so let's see what that sounds like. Okay, now what if just the F major chord is not enough? Let's turn that into a major 9 and see what it sounds like. Woo! Ooh, okay. Is it starting to sound a little churchy now? Is it starting to sound a little bit more soulful? Okay, so it's like I said, maybe the song originally was written. Okay, yeah, but like I said, if you wanted to sweeten it up. Now I think I went to the 6, so that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Just a regular A minor. That's just not gonna work. Let's try A minor 9. Ooh, that's not even an A minor 9, but we'll stick to the A minor 9. Okay. So now I'm adding a minor 9, and as you can see, I'm not playing the minor 9 in root position. I'm playing it in a different inversion. I'm doing G, B, C, and E. In root position, A minor 9 would sound like this. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm playing it down with like more of a with the notes more close together. It just gives you that sound. So now we got, okay, so at first we had this. Now we got this. Okay, is it starting to sound a little bit more soulful, a little bit more churchy? Okay, that was the 6, and then we did 2, 5, 1. So then 2 would be D minor, G major would be 5, C major is 1. So what can we do with the 2? We can definitely make it, instead of just minor, let's start with a minor 7. Maybe we can even do a flat 5. D minor 7 flat 5. 2. And then for the 5, let's make it a dominant 9. So we're going to do a G9. And then the 1 is going to be major 9, okay? So we got... Okay, so let's listen to what the song sounded like at first when it was just all nice and dry and corny sounding. Okay, yay, okay. And people can say, oh, wow, that's a hit. Okay, cool. But I wanted to sound more blunt. So now this is how we took that same song and made it sound a little bit jazzier. So there you go. So hopefully that demonstration kind of helped, hopefully, on how you can take something and make it sound like you know what you're doing, even though you really don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how do I make a song sound? Okay, I just looked at that one. I love them all. I want to connect them all. It's the voice and I'm chasing. Okay, Alethea, that was great at House. Oh, thank you, Alethea. You gonna make me cry. I'm gonna stop talking bad about you behind your back. Now I don't talk about you, Alethea. I promise you, I don't. Acklin OC. You can add dominant passing chords. Absolutely. I don't know. I thought you knew about drop 2, TOO. I've seen you play it in your videos. It's all good. Don't worry about it. It's a lot of things I do, and I probably don't even understand the theory behind it. So it sounds very stacks. Okay. You must was talking about those chords I was playing probably. It's old soul style. Okay. Wow, sounds dope. Oh yeah. Like I say, and all that stuff is stuff that you can learn by using the stuff that I've been teaching you. I taught you how to build chords, right? Have I not? For the last month and a half, I've been telling you can build chords. So yeah, take the time and figure it out. Any recommendations for daily exercises for better piano feel? As boring as people say they are, and they are boring. Practice your scales. Why? Because that's getting your fingers moving. Practice chord progressions. What you just saw me do just now was let me see if I remember. It was 1, 4, 6, 2, 5, 1.
1.
Right. Practice doing that in every single key. Now that one, that was in the key of C, right there. That was in the key of C. Let's go into the key of G. I'm gonna test myself because sometimes I'm not the greatest when it comes to playing in different keys off or on the spot. So if I mess up, y'all get to see me mess up. All right, we're gonna go to the key of G. Now I'm gonna do the same thing that I just did in the key of C. So we're gonna do 1, 4, 6, 2, 5, 1. Now we're gonna play it the cheesy way. Let's do it the cheesy way first. So 1 is, well, I said G, right? Okay, so G major.
Start up on the screen.
Oh, it's not. Oh, yeah, I gotta move the comment up. Thank you. Okay, and I gotta put this one up.
Right.
There you go. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. All right,
There
cool.
we go.
All right. So we're going to. All right. So the cheesy way. So let's just figure out our chord. So that's 1, right? G major is 1,
Mhm.
and then I went to 4, right? So that would be C, right? Now 6 is going to be E minor, right? And then 2, 5, 1 in G is A minor,
Mhm.
D major, right? That's
Right.
5,
Right.
and then 1.
One.
Okay, cool. All right, so the cheesy way of playing it is, what is it? 4. Okay, so 1, 4, 4, 6.
6.
Then I'm in the key of G. 2, 5. No, that's not 5. There we go. I'm sorry about that. Let me do that again. 1, 4, 6.
Mhm.
Then it's 2, 5, 1. Okay, cool. So that's the cheesy way of playing it. So now let's juice it up. So okay, now you can say, okay, I'm gonna do that same thing and I'm gonna juice it up. So we're gonna do G major 9. Remember I turned to C major into C major now. So now I'm gonna change it to, and then my 4, I'm gonna make that a major 9 too, which puts the C major 9 back in play again. Okay, so we want C major 9 again. So we got. Now we're gonna do 6. I did A minor 9 when I was in C, so I'm gonna do minor 9 again. So now we're doing E minor 9. So okay, so we got, and then we got 2, 5, 1, which is, now I did a flat 5, right? I did a flat 5, 2, 5 was dominant, and then 1. Okay. So now once you figure it out, okay, so let's do it now. Let's do it. Well, let me do that again. Hold up. What is it, 4? Okay. Then is, what is it, 2, 5, 1, right? 2, 2. All right. Let me try it again because I'm butchering the song right now. Then you can go back to C. That is right, yeah. Then go back to G. Well, and then you can go ahead on and try it in another key. Let's say you want to do it in F, okay? Then you go to F. Okay, so we're in the key of F. So 1, and then your 4 is going to be B flat, right? So your 6 is going to be D minor. Then your 2, 5, 1 is G minor. Your 5 is C. And then you're back at 1. Right? So let's listen to it. Well, I'll do it down here. Was that right? I think that was right. Okay. So then, of course, you want to jazz it up. Now, notice what I'm doing. As I'm doing all this, my fingers are getting the practice that they need. As y'all can see, my fingers are a little rusty too. So now we're going to do major 9 now, right? So we're going to do, and okay, another major 9, right? Okay. So we got, and then for the 6, what did I do? I did minor 9, didn't I? Well, I can do this. And then 2, 5, 1, and the key of F is 2. Ooh, I'm doing a C dominant 9. Yeah, and then 1, okay. So we got 1, 4, 6. Then you got the, well, I'm in the key of F, right? 2, 5. So there you go. So I think that is a really good exercise between learning your scales, playing your scales, and then, take a chord progression just like I did just there and start practicing it in every key. I think that is an excellent way to get your fingers and get yourself, doing what needs to be done. What was the question? Let me see. I thought you knew about it, blah, blah, blah. It sounds like stacks. I saw that. Okay. I'm just making sure I'm not missing y'all questions. Just bear with me. Wow, sounds dope. Yeah, I remember all these. Okay, so that's the one. That was the last question. Okay, Aiden. So hopefully, Aiden, that helped you. That helped you out with your question. Okay. Yeah. Back at you. D minor 9 and F9 hits different. I don't know why. D minor 9. F. I'm gonna do F13. How you like that? I mean, F9 is this. So, woo. And let's do it with the 13. Woo. I think the 13 hit even more different. What you think, Sheppo? I think if you do that 13, oh my goodness, I think it hits even different. Even more different. A minor 2, 5, 1 in the key of D minor sounds super cool. Yup. Root position. Oh yeah, that's what yeah. Voicing, yeah. Yeah, thanks, man. This video will be on YouTube afterwards, right? So I can review those chords. You trying to steal my chords? Gleno, see? You trying to steal my chords? Yeah, I'm gonna leave it on YouTube, man. Don't worry about it. But you're a thief, though. You're a thiefist. You're a thiefist. You just like Brandy. And Brandy probably not even knowing here. I think she in Bible study right now. But you a thiefist. And G major will be hard.
Yeah, you was stealing chords last week too, so don't even go there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she always. I wasn't stealing chords because he told me he learned those chords from me. Remember he said that? He did say that. He was like, well, actually, these are chords I learned from you. I said, oh, so you're the real thiefist. All right, in G major, will be hard because of that one sharp in the scale? I wouldn't say so. I mean, we could try. Hold up. If there's no other questions, we can try it in the key of G. Did I do it in G? No, I did it in G already. What are you talking about? I already did it in G. Have you ever experimented with different tonings? I've heard about that stuff. I've heard about it. I haven't fooled with it. I've heard about tuning your instruments. And, with our keyboards, we can go in there and manipulate that stuff. They say it does something to our psyche or whatever when you do all that. And
but
I've never fooled with it.
No, because the actual setting is supposed to be 440.
Yeah, 440 is what's considered to be tuned. But people, no, there's a thing out there where they say, I've seen it. I've seen videos on it, and they say like tuning down to 432, it does something, and it says it just does something to the way people feel and the mood that it puts you in. But I'm a 440 dude myself. You know what I'm saying? Because 440 has been considered being in tune as long as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 432. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. Your ear is not going to really hear it out of
Four,
tune. It's not. It's
yeah.
not. It's because it's too close to 440 anyway. But
440 is the standard.
oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, because I've took a piano tuning class in high school, and I remember learning that. I've never used it. It's the only time I ever tuned the piano was in high school, but I
Right.
wasn't that good at it then. So, but I remember having to tune like in the middle part of the piano. There's 3 strings that makes one sound, in like the middle section of the piano, like where middle C is. The
Yeah.
hammerhead actually hits 3 strings just to make that one C
One note.
sound,
Yeah.
and it's like you have to tune the first string to the third string. Then you tune the second string to the third string just to tune one note.
Right.
It's not even like a guitar. Like on a guitar, you just tune the one note at a time. No.
Right.
On a piano, you got to tune
3.
in the centered part of it, because then eventually it turns into 2 notes. And then on the bass and the high parts of the piano, it's only 1. But you literally got to tune 3 strings.
Yeah.
Just for one note. I'm like, nah, I would never go into this. No, thank you. I'll play it, but I'll hire somebody else to tune it, or I'll just play it on keyboards for the rest of my life and not have to worry.
A professional piano tuner.
Yeah, that's why, you know what? But if I owned a piano, and I don't own an actual physical upright piano or anything like, or I should say acoustic.
Grand
Right,
piano.
I don't own any type of acoustic piano, but if I did, I wouldn't look at what a tuner would charge to tune your piano. I don't know what they charge. If they say $500, I'm like, yo, I know what it takes to tune. So I'm like, yo, I'm not even going to look at you like you're crazy. Now, don't come in here and telling me it's going to cost as much as my piano now. If I paid $100,000 for my piano, don't tell me, it's going to cost you $100,000. No, that's crazy. But I do understand what goes into tuning, because I took that class. Well, I'm glad I took that class, and I'm like, yeah, you deserve your money. You absolutely deserve your money.
Yeah, I remember in church, I used to go to, they would send a piano tuner every couple of months.
Yeah.
And he actually
keep it, keep it,
Yeah.
where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was it? Oh, I thought you was going to tell a story.
Oh, no. That's it.
Oh, man, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, good, Mitch is talking. I can sip on some tea. I'm like, I'm going to take this time to sip on some tea. He like, stop. I'm like, what? Man, I thought you was getting ready to say something. All right, let me see. Let me see. Yeah, thanks, mate. Oh, yeah, I already looked at that. Okay. In G major would be, already did G.
That one out of the blue, I'm starting to understand key signatures.
Out of the blue. Yeah, key signatures are, I'm going to tell you a trick. If you're, and this is a trick. I'm wondering if I might have not learned this until college. I don't think my high school teachers taught me this trick, but I'm going to do a full screen here. No, actually, okay, now I can just do it like this. And let me, I can make it so that you can see that key signature a little bit bigger. I just had to put my T down for a second. Hold on. I'm going to switch to separate windows, and then take this, and there you go. You can see it much larger now. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you a trick. If you want to, if you're buying, if you're looking at sheet music, right, and you don't know your key signatures yet, hold on. I need that screen that lets me select keys. Hold up, where is it? This thing? Yeah, this thing over here. Okay, I'm going to move that out the way, and I'm going to put this back over here. Okay, cool. So let's say you see this as the key signature, right? And you're looking at this like, whoa, what? Now, of course, the software is telling you what key it is in, but when you buy sheet music, it's not going to tell you what key it's in, right? Now, I'm going to tell you a trick that you can do with sharps. This only works with sharps, but then I'm going to give you a trick that works with flats as well. Now, if you just don't know your key signatures, and you don't know your order of sharps and your order of flats, and you don't know all that stuff, here's the cheat. This is the cheat way. Now, What you do is you look at the furthest sharp sign. You look at the one that's furthest on the right. And y'all can see it on the screen, right? Yeah, y'all can see it on my screen. Okay. So the furthest sharp on the right is this one. So, and this represents what? A sharp, right? Because the first space is F, second space is A. So this represents A sharp. Now, all you have to do is just look at what like since we're in a space, that means you're going to go to the very next line. Now, let's say that let's say that this was the last sharp and that A sharp wasn't there. And let's just say that we had a key, or let me say the key of E. I'll just make it even easier by doing this. Okay. So let's say that this is it. Okay. So now the last note is on a line. So all you have to do is just go to the next space or the next line, and that's what key you're in. Okay, so the furthest sharp on the right is D sharp. What's the very next space called? This is the E, right? Remember, F-A-C-E, right?
Mm-hmm.
Key of E. It works like that with the sharps. Let me put B major up again and show you in B that has 5 sharps. Check this out. Here you go. The furthest sharp on the right is A, right? A sharp. What's the next line is what? B, right? Every good boy, right? This is the key of B. It works. I'm telling y'all. Let me show y'all the next one. All right. Let me show you F sharp. Here's the key of F sharp. Now, the note that is furthest to the right is on E. So that means, so what's the next line? F. And as you see on the F, there is a sharp symbol on that F line, right? So this line is F sharp, correct?
All right.
That's also the key, all right? And then even if you go to C sharp, I'm teaching y'all stuff that if y'all taking theory classes, y'all can use this stuff to cheat on your tests. I actually taught this. I taught this to my kids because I used to teach 4th through 8th grade music theory for years. I taught them for years, and I would teach them the order of sharps and the order of flats and all that stuff. I would teach it to them the right way, but you know how those kids just not paying attention half the time. So I gave them the cheap way too, just like I'm teaching y'all now. Now, look at the note that is furthest to the right here. You have B sharp. So the next thing you have is a space, right? Which is C. But as you can see, there is a sharp note on C. So this space represents C sharp, right? Isn't that what key they say this is?
Yeah.
And you can do that. I think the only time it doesn't work is for the keys that has only one. You have to memorize. No, you don't. No, you don't. I take that back. No, you don't. Here's the key of G. So this is the key signature for G. So now you only have one sharp. So this is on F sharp. Now what's the space above F is known as what? G.
G.
There you go. This is the key of G. For those of you that don't know, that you know these little spaces above and below represents notes as well. They're usually, you'll see some type of ledger line, which means a little line that has been drawn in, and they'll either put the note on the line or below the line or something like that. They're called ledger notes, but those are notes. So this space that sits right above F sharp is G. That is considered G. Okay. And then you go to 2 sharps, which is D. All right. And here you go. You got the furthest sharp on the right is C sharp. Every good boy does. So this line right here represents the letter D. Key of D. Hey, y'all, if y'all taking theory classes, you're welcome. You're welcome. I just helped you get a 100% on your test. But now I got to teach you the flats, the tricks for the flat. Now, for the key of F, there's no trick. There's no trick. This is the only one that you have to memorize. I don't think this should be hard. Okay, if you only see one flat, okay, just remember. Can you just remember? Can you remember that? Everybody nod their heads and say, yes, sir, we can remember it. Just memorize that. That's the only one you got to memorize, I promise you. Now I'm going to show you a trick for all the other ones. Okay, so you memorize it. Okay, if I only see one flat, it's going to either be F major or it might be D minor. We're not talking about minor, the relative minors yet. We're going to keep it simple. We can talk about, I'll teach you this trick with minors next week, relative minors. Okay. So let's go to B flat because B flat, where's B flat? That has two flats. Here we go. B flat. Okay. So now, check this out. Now, here's the trick. Now, this works with flats. Okay. Are y'all taking notes now? Because I'm telling y'all how to how to cheat on, well, it's not cheating on your test, because if you, however you learn, it's just how you learn, right? As long as you're not looking at notes as you're taking the test, you're not cheating. So, all right. So you have two flats on here. What you do is you go to the furthest flat on the right, and then you just go to the one before that one. Bam. You see you on B flat right there? That's the key signature, B flat. Now, and that will work for all the other flats. Let me show you E flat for a second. Here's E flat. E flat, you go to the flat that's furthest to the right, which is A flat. What's the very next flat to the left of the furthest to the right? E flat. Wow, this is the key of E flat. Okay, let's go to A flat because A flat has four. Where's A flat? Right here. Okay, A flat. Go to the furthest on the right. Look at that. You have D flat. Now go to the one right behind that one. Is that not A? F A, A flat? It's the key of A flat. Yes, I'm teaching y'all how to cheat. And don't y'all go telling on me to y'all teachers saying, it's this guy online that taught us how to cheat. Teacher. Okay. But here's D flat. Here's the key of D flat. Again, you look at the flat that's furthest to the right, and then you look at the one right next to it. Right next to it. Every good boy does. Oh, D flat. Because remember, there's a flat symbol right there. So D flat. Oh. Oh. And of course, G flat works the same way. Okay, G flat, the one that's furthest on the right, this is C flat. And then if you look to the one that's right before it, every good, that's G flat. And then C flat and C sharp should be easy because with both of those key signatures, you're going to have 7 symbols. For C flat, you got 7, okay? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In other words, everything is flat, but you can still use the trick even if you don't recognize the fact that everything is flat. You can still say, here's the furthest note to the right. The one immediately to the left of it is this one, F-A-C, C flat, okay? So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're going to cheat, don't tell your teacher that you're cheating. Just, tell them that you took the time to learn your order of sharps and your order of flats, and you did it the hard way. Yeah. Now, don't lie to them. I don't know what to tell you, what to say to them. Do it the right way, I guess. But anyway, so that should help you with key signatures right there. Just use that trick. Let me see. Out of the blue, okay, this is the last question. Understand key signatures. All right, so then we got. Have you ever experimented with? Oh, we talked about that.
Yeah,
okay,
we talked about that. We did.
Now I have to convert it to A flat major scale for that song. We'll see if those extensions still sound like the song. Hopefully it will work. Good luck to you, bro. Good luck. Like I say, let your ear guide you. I'm watching from Australia, by the way. Okay, Glenn, thank you, man. I appreciate you watching all the way from over there, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's why he said mate.
Okay. How to reharmonize songs from Florida, by the way. Marvin Guzman. I always say at the beginning of my stream that I am not the know-all of everything. And if it's something that I don't know, I will admit it to you. I am not qualified to talk about reharmonization, so I'm not even going to try to. So, but I'm guarantee you that there are so many people, on YouTube and stuff that does that. That's not something that I'm into. I guess the reason why I never really sat down and figured out how to do it is because I love sweetening up songs. Like I said earlier, if the song requires a C minor and I put a C minor 9 there, I like to do stuff like that to songs. I'm just not the type of person that likes to just change them. And like it's like sometimes when I hear people reharmonize songs, sometimes it's done well, and then other times I'm like, I just want to hear the song. That's just me. That's just me. That's just me. All right, that's just me. So I've never really sat down and looked into that. We got Kasai in the house. That was good stuff just now. Oh, thank you, Kasai. Yeah, that'll be $99.99, man. Um, you can use substitutions and then fair enough. Ha ha ha. Thanks for the lesson. Oh, no problem. All right, as we can see, we got our friend from last week. He had joined us on here too. If you have any more questions, again, feel free to ask your question. And if I can answer it, I will. And if I don't know, I am not ashamed or afraid to tell you, I don't know. All right. So, and if you want to join us on the panel, here is the link right there. What's going on? Not Jay part 2.
Come on, kid.
Come on, kid. Turn your microphone on, mate.
Speak your mind, kid.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Yeah,
Man,
there you
I was
go.
talking. I didn't even realize I was muted, man. I'm here doing some homework, just popping in to listen.
Oh.
Are you doing music homework or math?
Oh, math.
You know what's
Algebra.
funny? I actually taught math too. I was the math teacher. I worked at a private school. So at a private school, you don't get to just teach one subject. You got to teach multiple stuff. So I was also the math teacher. So you're in middle school. So what you doing in math right now? Like what is it?
Algebra.
Okay, just like the basic algebra stuff. Like
Yeah, algebra 1, like exponents and x and y and stuff.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's test them. What is 9 to the second power?
9 to the second power is like 81.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, I'm keeping it easy. Keeping it easy. All right. Okay. All right. What's 10 to the second power?
10 to the second power is 100.
All right. I should say squared since I'm a former math teacher. I gotta say it correctly. What's 10 squared? What's 10 cube? No, okay. No, okay. All right. Okay. He sounds like he's smart. I told y'all. I said he's probably smart. See, and to be a good musician, it's good to know your math too. Usually, people who are good musicians, for some reason, we usually we don't do horrible in math usually because we're always counting. We're always counting, even when we're not thinking about it. We're still counting. So you might play a song and don't even realize you're counting, and then if you ever really pay attention, you're like, you know what? I am counting. It's like, but you're not. You might not be thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, but you got either a bop or something. Your foot is tapping. Something is keeping you counting as you plan, even if it's not a physical 1, 2, 3, 4. So, but yeah, how you be, man?
I mean, I've been good. I mean, nothing really, just school, you know.
Okay. Why does man say math is the devil's
creation?
Not when you counting that money. I was like, oh, hold up, wait a minute, hold up. Here's a whole bunch of $100 bills. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and then you'd be like 1,000, 1,001. Ain't the devil then? I'll be sitting there with a big smile on my face. 1,002. Wow, how many $100 bills I got? Nah, it's all good. You say I'm kidding, okay? Do you know any piano chords on guitar? Nope. But I will say I don't know guitar at all. I barely know the bass guitar, and I really like it. If you look at any of my streams, whenever you see me, here goes Kasai. Hold up. Whenever you see me pull out this bass guitar, behind me, I always play the exact same song, and it's not even a song that y'all know. It's an original song that my band wrote 20-something years ago. So I'm not good at guitar, but I can tell you this software that I use, allows you to put a guitar up. So it's like if there's a way that I could have that up and it not be in the way. Let me see if I can find the setting real quick. I forget how you turn it on and off. It's not here. That's my MIDI set fretboard. Okay. Fretboard preferences. I guess you get preferences. Okay, nothing is moving on the preferences. Oh, never mind. Okay. I thought all you had to do was just click these things to turn it on, but
Yeah, they look like they're grayed out.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, okay, let me see. Hold on. Reset fretboard standard. What database? Warning? They want to warn me about something? Where's the warning? Oh well, I was getting ready to show you that this software will allow me to. Well, maybe it's under this setting. Hold up. Let me see. Reset. Blah blah blah. Deauthorize. No, we're not going to do that. Set note color. No, I'm not changing any of that. Switch to single view. Reset separate windows. All notes off. Well, I can. Let me close it out and start the program again and see if it works. Let me see. I was going to show y'all like I could really do my piano tutorials and let y'all see the guitar settings as well. Let's see. Let me bring everything together first. Maybe I might need to do that first. So let's switch to single view. Okay, now let's try. Maybe that could have been the reason why. That's what it was, because it was on separate view. Okay, so y'all see that?
That's cool.
That's
cool.
So this program got some bugs in it. All right, let me close it out and open it up one more time, because it does this sometimes. I go through this before I go live with y'all sometimes. I got to do this 2 or 3 times before the program acts correctly. Okay, I think we got it now. Hold on. Okay, so see that? Check that out. It tells you what to play on the fret. They like, oh, too many notes. They're like, too many notes. Okay, here we go. So that's an F7, sharp 9, sharp 5. And then it go, yeah. So like I said, I mean, at one point I was like, if I can get it and it just not be in the way, but it's kind of in the way once I arrange this thing with my physical piano and my fingers and all that stuff. I'm like, this thing is just in the way. But if I want to do Mitch's favorite chord, well, he said
A major 9.
9. Okay, there we go. There you go. So this is for Kasai, because Kasai plays the guitar already. So there you go. Kasai. What about a dominant 7? Dominant 9? Like D major 9? So yeah. But no, do I actually know this stuff? No, I don't know what that stuff is that's coming up on the screen. Maybe you do, but I don't. What's going on, Kasai?
Man, I am good. How about you guys? What's going on, Rich? What's going on, Mitch?
Man, we're just trying to be like you when we grow up. That's all. We're just trying to be like you. Okay.
Great.
So I'm just making sure. For example, okay, he was answering some questions. Okay. Wow.
Somebody running water or something?
Either that or the microphone is just set funny. But again, for those of you that just came in, I did my lesson on 13th chords already. And I did a review of pretty much all the stuff that I've been doing for the last month and a half when it comes to building chords. So you can always go back to the beginning of the stream to see the actual lesson. And if you have any questions, if I can answer it, that's the name of this podcast. It's called Any Questions. Again,
I have a question.
Okay, well, let me just say this before you ask your question. Again, I'm not the know-all of everything, so if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. Okay, what's your question, D?
My question is, can you show it again?
I can barely hear you. Say that again.
I said my question is, can you show it again?
No, but you feel free to rewind the video to the beginning and look at it. You can look at the whole lesson, and you can look at it 100 times. I don't even care. As a matter of fact, if you look at it 100 times, I'll get paid even more, right? Because more ads will show on the video. So, yeah. So feel free to just keep clicking it. Go back to it every day. It helps take the revenue of this live stream. Because this is not a Saturday stream, so I don't get hit with the stuff I get hit from Saturday stream. So I actually, if people look at the video, I actually do make ad revenue on it. But yeah, are
I'm
there
just
any
picking
other
with you.
questions? If not, we can just have a general discussion. We can talk about why Jewel is crispy, fresh, cheesy, and we can talk about that, or we can talk about something else that's music related.
Crispy chicken,
To
fresh
be honest with you, if there's no
wings.
more questions, we can probably end the stream now. We can just wrap backstage. I don't want to bore people to death. But if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask now. And again, if y'all want to join the panel, you can. As a matter of fact, let me put
I have
this
a
in.
question.
The answer is no, but go ahead. Ask it anyway. But
Okay.
just know that the answer is no.
Okay. Um, when you play, let's say you're playing a C sus2, right?
hmm
Are you playing the 3 as well?
If you play the 3, technically it's called a add 2 and not a sus 2. So when
Okay.
you play the 1, 2, and 5, that's the sus 2.
Okay.
If you play the 1, 2, 3, and 5, that's called add 2 or add 9.
So, so here's my follow-up question. Why isn't an add 2 called a 9 chord, but in a different inversion?
I kind of hit on this earlier too, and I honestly said I don't know why. I don't know why sometimes in sheet music they'll say play a C add 2, and then sometimes they'll say play a C add 9. Is that what you're asking, or are you asking something
Right.
else?
Yes.
I honestly don't know. I don't know. I've seen that stuff written both ways, and I don't know why. In my mind, it makes sense to call this chord the add 2 chord because this is not really an extended chord. Extended chords is when you go to the 9, 11, and 13s. So why some sheet music will say add 9, I don't know why. In my tutorials, there are hundreds of my tutorials with the program that I used before Meticulous. Like Meticulous I used, and on Meticulous, it calls those same chords add 9. As a matter of fact, Jay, you have Meticulous, right?
Yeah.
Right now, let me ask you this: on your this is you have a new version. When I
Yeah, I've got
used
the newest
Meticulous,
version.
y'all can look at my videos. I was using a ancient version of it because it's been years since I used it. When you play a add 2, well, does Meticulous display it as an add 2 or a add 9? Back
It
in the day,
says
it
an
used to.
add 9 for me.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So look, even depending on the software that you use, if you use Jamal Hartwell's Meticulous, he writes it as add 9. But if you use this dude named Matt, I don't know his last name, that created this, it says add 2. I honestly don't know why.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Earthworm wanted to know what program you was using.
this program is called Chordy app. Chordie app. Chordy app. Not to be, there's a website out there that's just simply called Chordy. That's not it. You're gonna have to go. Let me see if I can show you the website. I actually had went to the website today to try to see if he updated it because of all the stuff I have, and I just was like, oh yeah, that's right. I gotta go to Chordy app. Yeah. So if you go to, I believe it's chordyapp.com. Let me see if this is right. Yeah. Okay. So you want to go to this. You want to go to this website. It's chordyapp.com. One word. So chordieapp.com. That's the name of the app. If I'm not mistaken, it should still only cost $25. Let's pretend we're getting ready to buy it. Okay, so we'll see if it's still $25. Okay, so we want to buy the Apple version. Psych. Okay, now we want to pretend we want to buy the Windows version. All right. And then it says add the cart.
Oh my
So when we
goodness.
click add the cart,
Oh,
yes, it says $25 over here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's
yeah, I
still,
can
so it's
see
only
it,
25. That's it.
$25.
That's what I've been using this for about a year or two. So yeah, it's just $25, and it's a one-time fee. It's not like a monthly fee or anything. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you're interested, it's chordyapp.com.
And how much is ridiculous?
If you get the full version, I think it's $100, if I'm not mistaken. But they have other versions. Let's take a look at it. I think it's gospelmusicians.com. That's Jamal's website. Let's see, gospelmusicians.com. I think that's the name of his website. Let me see. Yep, GM. That's him. All right, let's take a look. All right, we're gonna do this now. We giving these guys business. They owe me a percentage of any sales they make in the next 5 minutes. Any sales you make in the next 5 minutes, guys, it's because I'm sending them to you.
Show me the money.
I know, right? Ridiculous. Choose your version. See, they got. All right, check this out. So they got the free version.
Yeah.
Where you can't do nothing, but you can play your piano, and it will show you what you're doing. But you can't do like really much of anything else in there. You can load. Let's say if I created a lesson for you. Let's say I owned the pro version, and I created some type of piano lesson for you. Then you can load that in there. They say you can play sounds too and display instructions. But if you get this one that's $50, you can actually, let's say if you're like people that we know that like to download MIDI files, and I'm just going to just the A and D, behave yourself. And you just want to have a program that will show you the notes that's being played, you can download that MIDI file, load it with this $50 version, and you can literally just watch. And you can slow it down too, as a matter of fact. Like you can say, oh, this is too fast. Let me slow it down so I can really see what notes are being played.
That's cool.
And you can play audio files, and you can do the same thing with audio files. You can slow and speed up audio files, which is great when you're trying to learn how to play a song. And it's like maybe it's a chord that you just can't catch. So you might loop it, and then you slow it down. So it's kind of nice that you can kind of slow it down, but yet it still keeps the same pitch. You know, like with our old tape decks back in the day, you can slow the tape deck down, but if you slowed it down, it went to another key. You know, that wouldn't help you if you're trying to figure out what key it is. So, yeah, no DAW support. But then if you get the $99 one, you basically can do everything. You can even detach the keyboard. Like with the $50 one, you can't even detach, I don't think. Yeah, you can't. Like with the Chordy app, you saw that I can detach everything, and I only have to pay $25 for that option. You know what I'm saying? With the Chordy app. But over here, you know, you can do everything. So there's your answer. You got the free version that will, at least you can play, and it will show you what chords you're playing. So that's cool. But if you want to do a little bit more, you got to. Jamal, like, y'all, you got to cough up some money. Jamal, like, I ain't playing. Jamal, like, I ain't playing.
With the Chordy app, and you do the MIDI files.
No, you can't import MIDI files. You can't do that at all. Yeah, so Meticulous, you definitely, if you get the full version of Meticulous, you definitely have more features, hands down, than the Chordy app. Hands down. You definitely get more features. But with the Chordy app, the main thing that I wanted, I looked at getting the pro version of Meticulous because for my tutorials, I really needed to be able to detach that piano thing so that I could line it up better with my piano. And so I was like, I had that thing in my cart. Like, I'm like, man, $100 just so I can just detach. That's the only thing I want to be able to do. And then I found out about the Chordy app, and I said, well, hold up. So, and, you know, I was reading it, and it was like $25, and I'm able to detach the keyboard. And I was like, okay, let me try that. I said, now, if this doesn't work, I'm going to wind up paying $125 if I come back to Jamal. But as you see, I'm sticking with Chordy. So, because that was my main thing, was, you know, I really needed to detach the keyboard. So that was my reasoning when I left Meticulous to go to Chordy app. I'm like, well, it's only $25. So, did we get any other questions? What'd you say, D?
I said 25 and 100 is a big deal.
Yeah, it's $75. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shoot. I might not be the brokest person on the planet Earth, but I mean, if I can save $75 and do the one thing that I wanted to do, then I'm sorry. I'm gonna save the $75, man. But again, I'm not saying Ridiculous is an awesome software though. It really is. It really is. Because I used it for years on my tutorials. Okay, Jay is over there answering. He answering more questions than I am.
Oh, it was this one, man.
It's all good. No, it's all good. No, other people have answered questions that's on this panel too. Oh, that's my bad. All right. What was that program? I already answered that. And Jay Melody was laughing at the fact that I said I was going to click the Apple version. Okay, he's talking to you. Okay, yeah, so they're having a conversation. Okay. Any other questions, y'all? Any other questions? Again, that's the name of this broadcast, this podcast. Yeah, I guess that's what it is, a podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
Live stream, whatever you want to call it. Let me just say this. This Saturday, and I posted this on my community tab. We're doing Shaka Khan this Saturday. So we're recreating our favorite Shaka Khan songs. And I guess in preparation for that, I posted a poll. I'm like, what is it called? A poll. I posted a poll about. I'm like, what is it? What is it that I'm trying to say? Okay, that's it. I posted a poll, and let me show it. It's on my community tab. So if you go to my channel, to my community tab, you'll see that I put an ad up to let y'all know we're doing Shaka Khan. So make sure y'all give that a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? You know, support that. But anyway, this is what I want you to see. So what I said in the poll was, since we will celebrate Miss Shaka Khan this Saturday, October 16th, blah, 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 during the live stream, I decided to put up a poll to see which Shaka Khan is your favorite.
Let me get on this poll.
I'm only allowed to post 5 songs as options. Yeah, YouTube polls only let you put down 5 options. You can't go past that. So basically, here are 5 songs, okay? So you can select which one is your favorite song. And then I said that if you don't see your favorite song, if you don't see it, feel free to put it in the comment section. Just manually type it. And let's say you come down to this comment section and you see a song that you like. If you want to support that song, just give it a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? You can just give that person a thumbs up with that one. And we'll have a discussion about that on Saturday after we finish going through the music. And we'll probably do another One Gotta Go and, you know, get people all upset. Like we did last week when people were saying get rid of Prince. You know, when people were saying get rid of Prince when we did the One Gotta Go, I'm not trying to tell on anybody, but when people was like, I don't really feel Prince like that, and yeah, we can just get rid of Prince. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now who is BC? BC, who are you? It's a gentleman.
Oh, BC.
Would you like to unmute your mic and say something? Make sure you don't cuss, because we will kick you out if you do.
You want to introduce yourself to the class?
Are you before Christ? I mean, who are you? BC? Who are you?
Introduce yourself to the class, to the rest of the class.
I know. I can tell you right now that your microphone is muted. So if you're talking and wondering why we don't hear you, it may be because your microphone is muted. I don't know. If you're talking, there we go. I hear something.
Just a little bit louder.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to talk
Brian
a little
Curtis
bit louder.
speaking here.
Who is this?
Hi, BC. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
What's going on, sir?
Brian Curtis, big Bob James fan.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I saw Brian Curtis' name in the chat. Yeah, you asked something. What's
Bob
going on,
James.
sir? Welcome to the panel. Welcome to the live stream. Appreciate you joining us. Did you have a question or something for us?
No. Well, I just enjoy your music online. I found you online about a year ago. Bob James, Feel Like Making Love by Roberta Flack.
Oh,
Bob James
Yeah,
is the
I
man.
did that tutorial, didn't I? I did a tutorial for that song, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
feel like making love.
you late. You did a great job on that. So I'm just checking you out this evening.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you coming on to tell me that. Thank you. So, so you're a keyboard player, or were you the one that played the guitar? You can.
Keyboard.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all right. How long you been playing keyboard, sir?
I'm a beginner. I'm been playing it for 2 or 3 years, but picking up on some Bob James and
Okay,
just growing and learning. So
okay. Well, hopefully the stuff that I've been going over with this live stream is helping you with your keyboard growth.
all right,
You
okay.
know.
Well, thank you, appreciate you, and I'll be checking you out in future weeks.
Okay, man. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
man. I really appreciate that.
Nice to
Thank
meet you,
you.
All right,
BC.
thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Take care. Y'all be trying to make people cry,
Nah.
man.
I'm not holding you.
I know.
I'm not holding you, Jazz.
Come on, somebody need to hold me. Hold me. Hold me. You gotta wanna hold me. Baby, baby, squeeze
And then
me.
Larry Bird said, "I'm not doing that."
um, what's the chord progression of the song? I will try. Oh, that's okay. That's let me answer that. It's already has it so okay. So it's just those two talking. Okay. Okay. All right.
Oh
Well,
yeah, baby.
yeah. If we don't have any more questions coming in, oh yeah. Well, let me finish what I'm saying. But about the Shaka Khan thing,
Mhm.
if you would like to come, let's say you want to recreate, pre-record a Shaka Khan song, and you would like for me to play it, make sure you email me an MP3, please, not a WAV file and all that stuff. MP3 that's works for me. And say that with me. MP3 works for me.
MP3
Right? Say
works
it
for
with me.
me.
MP3 works for
Works
me.
for me.
All right. So send that and we'll play it. Now if you want to come on the panel like right here and you wanted to perform live, hit me up on Instagram, DM, because email is really. See, when I on Saturday evenings before I go live, I actually scroll through my email looking to see if there's songs. So that's why I'm like, okay, yeah, you have to email me your tracks. But I have like over 40,000 unread emails that will probably never get read. So that's why I say if it's something like you just want to come on the show, then you need to DM me on Instagram because I'll see that before I probably see your email. So DM me, let me know, and I will arrange for you to come on. That's what Kasai did down there a few months ago. He came right on me on Instagram, and boom, y'all been seeing him. At least when the weeks that he show up, he been dogging us for a couple weeks now, but it's all good. It's all good. He like you know what? I'm too big for y'all now. Y'all guys are Smurfs, and I'm Goliath. So he was like,
Don't, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. The lies.
But yeah, definitely come back on Saturday, and yeah, we're just gonna have a good time. Now Saturdays are not like lessons. I don't come on here to teach lessons. Saturdays is just about music and fun, listening to music, listening to our recreations. It's just a Saturday. It's just a vibe. That's it. So don't come on here on Saturday talking about how do we build chords again. I'm gonna tell you. Wait. You ask me on Wednesday. Wait till Wednesday. But yeah, definitely. So yeah, and we're going to do Shaka Khan this Saturday. The following Saturday, we're going to do Jodeci. I can't wait. Like, I don't know why I waited so long to have a Jodeci week, man. Jodeci was my group. Next to Boys to Men, man. We had, so we're going to have a Jodeci night. And then after that, on Mitch's birthday, October 30th, we're going to have an open mic night. Speaking of Mitch, make sure y'all check out his project that he released September 7th. It's on pretty much any streaming platform you can think of. including the fruity platforms. I think they call it Apple or something like that. Yeah, including that platform. The name of his project is called In Your Presence, and of course, the artist name is Mitch Soul. It's not hard to find. So, yep. So check him out. So, is there any other announcements before we sign off, y'all? Going once.
I would like to announce that Mitch spits that hot fire.
Yeah, and sometimes he spit too, but
God, Jesus.
well, who doesn't?
Oh, wait a minute. There's one more thing I would like to say.
Need to
I
borrow
am now-
$20.
No, no. I am now on amazingradio.us.
Okay, so Amazing Radio finally decided that he was amazing, and said that we're going to on our amazing platform. So make sure if you use that particular thing, definitely do that. Yeah. So okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. And like I said, come back on Saturday for some Shaka Khan, for some laughs. We usually. Usually there's somebody talking about the way I talk. We're not going to mention her name because she's always talking about me. She's actually one of my best friends, but we're not going to mention her name tonight, right, Kim? Okay. Anyway, and then come back, and then you can come back next week where we'll talk about chord inversions. So hopefully you all have a wonderful rest of your week and good night.